Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, mothers, fathers, daughters, sons, brothers and sisters. This is the Revolution Sim Racing Revolution Cup Season 5, round number 2, around the very, very rain-soaked, bumpy circuit of Brno. My name is King-Kodiak, and I'll be one of your commentators throughout this evening's race. Well, the races, I should say, sprint and feature. Joining me in the commentary box, I'm always happy to say, stalwart of these very leagues, it is Andrex UK.
Good evening. This should be a good one. It's starting very wet. We will see what happens.
Exceedingly wet.
Yes, indeed. Looking forward to this one.
Now, I was very slightly late to the service. Started slightly earlier than I was expecting, so this is why the interface is slightly unusual. We will correct that before the feature race begins. But as for who to keep an eye on right now, let's have a look at what we can expect. The feature and sprint race from last week was won by this man, Murphy. Was chased home, particularly in the sprint race, but leads the way in both. As I say, winning both rounds, leads 8 points at the moment. Who else do we have? We have got. I'm going to have to keep referring to this because, as you can see, the names don't appear properly in this interface. Nakor is in the plain white car. He's just come around. Bear with me and flicking between.
I believe the white livery must mean he is a kind of guest driver for tonight.
Could well be. Could well be. Who else do we have? We have got. That is Copper Piston, who's just jumped back to the pit and is returning on track. I'm assuming that is Cluck. Yes, it is. Who is currently in the pit as well, yet to get a time on the board. Oh, you can.
Staying nice and dry.
Yeah, absolutely. He needs a brolly on his head for these. You can see how much these guys. And there's a big old river forming on the exit of turn 15 that really is going to catch a few people out. Ashnoom is, of course, registered in 6th. Of course, no times on the board as yet. So everybody is just listed in server order. That is Taudu currently listed in 7th in the black and white Fanatec car. Whoa! That's trouble for the Panasonic liveried. Who was that? That was Steve G200. He's thrown that in the wall. Oh dear, is that going to be reset to pits?
Yeah. One of those.
Yeah. That's absolutely. Who else do we have with us then? That is Project PD, who finished both races in 2nd position last week. Wow, that's committed. Coming. Really? He was a tad coming through Tad 4. Tad 4, turn 4. Right there is Puff Pirate, who didn't have so much success last week. 4th and 9th in the feature and in the sprint and feature race, respectively, in the yellow Sheriff it's a car. There is Alex Salmon. I recognise, of course, some of these abbreviations, but not all. Just look at the amount of spray. Although the sun is out, there's an insane amount of spray coming off these cars. He's coming around the last turn. Let's see if he's setting a time or starting his. He's setting a time. That is 1:47.326, and he's decided to bury it in the ground, in the dust.
Well, yeah, okay, as you do.
As you do. Just going to boost your volume a little bit here, Mr. Andrex, as Groby, who's who's spectating. Hello to you, Groby, has said that he can't hear you. So
you're not missing much. I wouldn't worry.
Lies. Murphy is 2nd with the 1:48.47. Of course, these conditions are very, very treacherous. There is Taudu in 5th. There's Manu, is jumped into 3rd position in the Denverville red car. Catch a glimpse. I'm assuming that's who that is. Yep, it is indeed.
Yep.
Currently 4th, 1:48. Oh, that is that's Project PD that just jumped up to 2nd, 1:47.623. And yes, so Alex Hammond is back out on track again. Is that Miyagi that is in 8th? Yes, that is indeed. Yep. A guest driver from last time. 9th, I take it that is Drux. Yes, it is. Ashnoom there in 10. KIN, that's actually me, so there will be no times. Oh, Unstopper Paul, what a stunner. 1:46.880. Half a second ahead of Alex Salmon. Now, we all know how quick Alex is. The few commentaries I've done for RSR, Alex has been right up there along with Puff Pirate, and that's a hell of a time to be sticking over a RSR great. Very nicely done.
Just going back to Miyagi, he's also, as you said, wearing the white livery. He did race last week. In the last race, he got an 8th and a 6th, so maybe I'm way off the mark with white being guessed. Not sure about that one. But, yeah, he's back, currently holding 9th. So we'll see how he progresses in the race as well.
Indeed, there he is, 149, 118. Of course, the gaps between each driver will be exacerbated because of the conditions. Manu is now down to 6th position. He's actually close to... Wow! Yep, that's a bit of a gaggle there. Murphy has just jumped through. Oh, that's a new position in 5th. That is Kobesnel. Yep. Oh, look who's just jumped up to the top. It's the Sheriff. The Sheriff? Well, we can call him that. He's been called worse, I'm sure.
Yep.
There's Puff Pirate. He's coming out again, so he's not wanting to just rest on his laurels. Still just under 4 minutes to go. And hello, TJS. Welcome to the stream. So glad to have some spectators with us for this race.
We did have about 10 minutes worth of static staying in the pits whilst we let the track get wet, so there's not going to be a massive advantage of getting the lap in early. So it might still be that people improve. Normally it would be a case of get out very quickly, get the laps in, and you might not improve beyond your very first lap. But on this occasion you might well do, so it's definitely worth getting on the track, and it's more wet practice if nothing else as well for the race.
So Nakator is there. Battenberg gets his time into 13th, 149.231. As most people have got a time on the board now. Nakator, we're just looking at coming through 12 and 13. Oh, again, you see how delicately.
That is a slippery corner, that one right there.
Oh, who's that in 5th? That's Eladir that has jumped up there, 147.870. That's not
Pirates teammates. That's 1st and 5th at the moment by the looks of things.
Oh, Nakator very nearly wandered off the road there at turn 14. It's really struggling, and that river is really growing on the exit of 15. So, and indeed, that is a 151 that's been put on the board. So you can just the spray. These things are boats. They really are. That's absolutely mad. Hello, Jono. Welcome to you. So we are waiting for...
Clock's still sitting in the pits. He's not came out, I don't think, at all.
He's wanted to stay dry. Gosku is out there. I take it that's Gosku and Tim. Oh, Tim is Tim. I can't forget that one. So,
Manu's teammate. So.
Yeah, so just Gosku, Cluck and Tim then, without a time on the board. Cluck...
he's just came in 9th, and Tim.
That he has, 148.742. Catch Glimpse has put another time in, 148.787.
Puff Pirate on the pole.
Yeah, 146.278. That is absolutely stunner. Jono, say hello, my storyteller. Yes, you just reminded me of that. It took me all this time to get that out of my mind, thank you, but never mind. As the qualifying then continues, Gosku. Oh,
they're going a bit wide, a bit bumpy and grassy.
Kobesnel. Yeah, Kobesnel's just put a time in. 147.9. Whoop, and taking a road going with him. Oh no, hang on, he's coming around the last turn. So let's see if he improves. Wow, and again, big old wag of the tail there that does not improve. Puff Pirate is jumped back to the pits. His day is done. Project PD, that's the one that is bracket GE, because of course he has the Germany tag on the end of his name. Ever patriotic to his country. 146.780. Oh, Unstoppable Paul was 10th behind Puff Pirate. What a great effort yet again. Bit of a rainmeister it would seem in Mr. Unstoppable Paul. Where's Gosky? Turn 14 and 15. Can he get that? I think that's the Renault Sport colours.
Yep.
Does he cross the line? Where does he appear? He's starting his laps. So let's follow a lap through. Let's see.
I'm probably going on board. That might be quite interesting.
Absolutely. Now.
Oh, that's wet.
Oh, yes. And the sun's out as well. So I wonder if they're going to be... Yep, there's a lot of reflection on the sun. This is actually my pet hate driving condition. Sun on a wet road. You are just so blind. There's Battenberg, I think, has just moved up to 8th as well. 148.417. So you can see how gently... We bring up the speedo. Actually, the qualifying thing is over the top of it, so that doesn't actually help. So, streaming on down then to turn 6. Really delicately getting that car around. Just the minimal amount of steering angle. You dare throw the car in these conditions, you will go to the wall. if you so do so. Rounds turn 8 now. Again, this would just normally be flat throw, but they are just so dancing on the gas. Around turn 9, very gently. Just touches the rumble strip, that's not too bad. And someone was coming towards the end of their lap, but unfortunately has binned it. 3 cars still on track. Cluck is not one of them, so he has opted to start from the back, interestingly.
Might not be a bad tactical decision with a very slippery track at the beginning of the race there, just to avoid danger, perhaps.
Allowing the chaos to ensue.
Yes.
Eladir and Nakator. I'm just checking I'm saying his name
Still
right.
driving. Yep.
It's Nakator, isn't it? Nakor, sorry, Nakor. There's no T in there. I've done it again. I'm adding spurious letters. Around the final turn then. Where does Gosku appear? It's going to be 1:48.037 for Gosku. That's not Nak.
Yes.
That was Eladir coming across the line.
Just coming across
no improvement.
He does not improve. And Nakor coming across the line and does bump up a couple of positions up to P17.
150. I mean, you would never see this kind of divide in the lap times normally in this tier. Not at all. Just goes to show how much, how difficult these conditions are, and a bit of a shuffle as well. Of course, we had a double win by Murphy last time out, and he's 10th.
Indeed. It's open setup as well, so some people will be building the cars up differently. It might even play out slightly differently in the race than it does in qualifying, but how that plays out. But I think early on that could be very icy.
Oh yes, Puff Iron then taking the pole spot by just over a 10th over Unstoppable, Project PD 3rd, Alex 7-4, Eladir 5, Manu 6, Cobra Snell 7, Gosky 8, Battenberg 9, and Murphy rounds. I nearly did it again. I nearly pressed that big red button. It's far too tempting. And there we go then. So heading to the grid, of course, it shows me as being, of course, a driver because I was slightly late joining the session. Never mind. There was not a chance I am driving in these conditions. I would drive these cars, but not in the wet. And certainly not against these guys.
Yeah. Looks to be a bit of a gap in...
Yes, that was where I was sat. That's because, of course, my car went down to the grid and I retired. There's now no 19th, so Clark did improve.
Okay. It just looks to me like there's a big gap on the grid in P4.
P4? Let's have a look.
P4 is Eladir, which is looking at around about P13, 14th-ish.
Oh, that's a bit of an interesting... I've got no one on P4 grid space.
Yeah.
But Eladir is listed as P4 on my screen.
Yes, and yet he's probably around about... I don't know. 11.
Oh, no, see, he is 4 cars back. He's just in the wrong place. Not, of course, his fault. That's just where the game plonked him.
It is go on green.
Oh, it's go on green. It's a standing start then, and away they go. Oh, the Renault car. I think it was Cobra was really slow. It was Gosku. Wow, that's one of the Panasonic cars has already gone for a bit of a wander. At the back there, you can see why Cluck went for the...
Project PD into the lead on turn 1 and the inside. Puff got a decent start, but left the door open enough, and, well, Project's not going to take asking twice to go through on a gap like that.
What a cracking start there by Project PD as they filter then through turn 4. Oh, they are being so gentle with these cars. As you can absolutely expect, Cluck did gain a position very briefly, but as undone. There was Steve. It was Steve in the Panasonic. Oh, we got someone round. That's Ashnu.
And it's 3 wide coming into this corner. Manu in the middle.
Oh,
I think it's Eladir right behind him, I think. He has gained up into P4.
That's Murphy already behind Manu. Manu's now at the 4th. Or at least on my screen. Eladir is there in 6th position. Have you got Eladir in a completely different place?
P6, I've got Eladir.
Yep, that's where I've got him as well.
But Murphy's managed to get up to P5. He started, what, 10th?
10th, yeah. So what a great start.
Flying.
Whoa, that's Gosku that went a little bit too deep on the exit at turn 10. Now that's, is that Cataclysm? No, that is Battenberg in the Panasonic car doing a lovely pass then coming down into turn 11. Oh, he's gone a little bit deep then, but of course no one's getting a lot of traction in this thing. Oh, look at that, that's Cataclysm. Getting a great move then, looking on the inside for turn, outside rather of a turn, position 8, but does not quite happen. Then look at the top 3 though.
Yeah, they're going to split away.
Yeah, Project. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, no, I just predict P1, 2 and 3 are probably going to pull away from each other. I think Puff might have the legs on him to probably keep up with Project P, but whether or not he can really hang with him or not, I don't know. It's early signs are in Project PD's favour right now.
Oh, with a stunning start that got him through up to the lead in turn 1.
51-3 against a 53-3.
Wow.
We'll see how those improve over the race, but it's only a 12-lap race. You can't afford to be sat back and taking it easy. It's a sprint race, this one, certainly. We've got somebody in the pits. We have got
Co-commentated.
He looks healthy. I don't know what the problem is with that one. But he is 2 minutes back, so he's certainly had some issues.
We didn't see him bounce off the wall. That's my car that's in the pits is retired. You can't be changing tyres. Oh, we could be. I mean, there is the mandatory pit stop.
Not on this one, just on the feature.
Oh, is it only on the feature? I beg your pardon.
Sprint one doesn't have a mandatory.
He's sat in there a while, so maybe he had some damage that we didn't see.
I think so.
Manu is on the back of Unstoppable, then that is for third. So the Demerville colour car is really finding the pressure on the green and white car of Unstoppable. Puff Pirate is falling back a bit from Project PD. It's 2.5 seconds nearly between the top 2. So
there's a battle up here from Gosco's got Steve not far behind him in the Panasonic blue and white livery.
Yeah.
Oh, he's right there. Have a look on the inside. Oh, last of the late breakers. Oh, but Gosco goes very wide. And he's leaving the room, and Steve just powers around the outside, delicately so, but does it nonetheless.
Towdy's coming through as well.
He's right beside him. Get too wide in the last corners. There's plenty enough space to go too wide, but it is slippy.
Yeah, it's a time you don't really want to be using the space because there's so much water out there. Yeah, Gosco's struggling, so he's lost 2 positions in less than half a dozen turns. And
he's off the racing line there. I don't know what's. He's having some technical issues.
He's having some heat issues in the tyres, as in too much heat. 147.3 by Project PD at the front, 7/10 quicker than Puff.
48 flat for Puff, but then a 50.2 for Unstoppable. So yeah, I think PD's certainly pulling away, but Puff's not letting him go too far away. Just one slight mistake and he'll be right back on his tail. But I think they do seem to have the pace over Unstoppable in P3 at the moment.
Absolutely.
In fact, it's Manu that's probably putting more pressure on Unstoppable than anyone else at the moment. Yeah,
Manu 6 cents quicker than Unstoppable last time around. What's I don't have a lap count. How many? Oh, that's Unstoppable off. He's I heard a big spike in revs there. That was at turn 10, I think it is. Yes. So
he joins. He's dropped down to 8 now.
That was well spotted there by Battenberg. He could have slammed into the side of Unstoppable. He's going to lose another few here. Potentially, as Steve is in the Panasonic car right behind him. Unstoppable just about hangs on.
Patrick Limstead manages to take the position off him though.
Yeah.
And it's Steve that's. Oh, he's right behind him. Oh, I thought that was going to have a little bit of wing swapping.
Yeah, he looked quite keen. Whoa! He had a great drive. God, didn't he just out of the exit of 13, but couldn't quite use the pace he wanted to. Side by side now with Unstoppable.
Oh, he's right outside.
What a move!
Well played.
Great move then by the Panasonic car, and Tauji's right in there as well. So yeah, it's all unravelling for Unstoppable. Was up in the podium positions, and now is under all kinds of pressure. He's now down in 9th. Tauji's right there to try and do something about it without seeing 48 up front. So whether the weather is worsening, which is of course absolutely possible, the weather most certainly can, well, this kind of weather does or can make a lot of standing water in certain places. We saw it in qualifying, that big river along the edge of the exit of the last turn. So we'll see then if that is the case. Eladir is with Murphy as well. That's a battle for 4th. Eladir in the Sheriff's car. There you see Murphy. So Murphy not quite at ease with the wet conditions. Oh, and he was quite deep coming through 7th. could help Eladir reel him in a little bit, but all eyes at the moment on this battle, which Goski's at the back of. That's, oh goodness me, that's Cataclysm down to Goski, 7th through to 11. Look at Tauju on the back of Unstoppable. He can't even see through the spray. Going down the copper view, that's a lot of water he's having to try and stare through. So,
yeah.
Oh, we've lost Alex Salmon. I knew we'd lost someone. I was trying to identify who. Oh, Alex, what a shame. What a great shame. Random game crash between sessions. Oh, no. That is not ever what we want to see.
Holding 3rd in the championship at the moment with a 3rd and a 5th in the last race. Is not what he wants.
What a shame. I think Cluck's gamble of not qualifying has not paid off for him. There is...
Oh, he's struggling a little, isn't he?
Yeah.
209 the last one. I think he must have been
caught up in something.
Backwards, I think.
Well, Ashnoom had a 210, so I think those two must have come together, and that's put them towards the tail end of the field. Steve and Cataclysm are still close together. That's a battle for 7th position. Most of the field have spread out now. 49-1, 49-1 for the top two. So Path Pirate and Project PD are still about, it's under 2.5 seconds now between the two. So Path Pirate could well start to find some grip out there. Manu has broken away from Murphy, who in turn has broken away from Eladir.
Ironically, the only other person that is in the 49s is Kovishnell in
last
19.
So yeah,
so
definitely
he seems to have a solid pace, but he's just in the wrong place to put it anywhere.
Yeah, and you can actually see Kovishnell by the fact that he is a lap down, the highlighted blue on the map. He's just come through turn 11, so he's very much on his own. But that is the view from Steve on Cataclysm's car. Again, just an absolute face full of spray. That's Battenberg that just went through the shot, and just behind them is Tauju and Unstoppable. So a lot of battling still to do. Tim and Drux are actually in a battle, and so Tim in the Denverville red car, Manu's teammate, along with Drux just ahead in the minty green and white car. They just come through.
I tell you what, it'll be a very brave person that's using that DRS more than anyone else.
Yes, I imagine everyone has probably unbound that for this race too.
I don't know. It's a scary button to be using right here.
Oh god, and it just. So people might have actually unbound it from their steering wheel so they don't accidentally hit it. Maybe that's what happened to Unstoppable. He accidentally hit the hit the DRS in the corner. That in the try will send you off. So through
150 flat for Project PD. Tough matching him with just a 10th quicker.
So Puff's not out of the running yet. How many laps have we got to run? Unfortunately,
we are on 5 of 12 at the moment. We're just starting lap 6.
So we are approaching the halfway stage in this sprint race. Looking then at Tim coming through that last turn. He's right with Drux. And this is definitely what you don't want. You do not want to be under pressure. Well, you never really want to be under pressure, but certainly in the wet, you definitely don't want to. That's the Panasonic livery car of Steve in 8th on the back of Cataclysm. They were 4/10 to the Panasonic car's favour last time around, and that is what it looks like. Of course, the rain is not going to ease up at all in this race. You can see how they're struggling for lap time pace. The deltas are all red. Oh, it's a good move from Steve. It's a great drive. Cataclysm goes to the inside to defend. Can he swing around the outside?
All the way outside.
Oh, it's going to be in all the water out there. He's still going. Still nose ahead. Can he hang on for the inside of the next exit? Oh, what a move!
Played.
Very nicely done by Steve G to claim that. That's oops, and that's Cataclysm wandering a little bit wide there. That's put Unstoppable on Cataclysm's case, and Tauju still right there as well. So a lot of battling going on there. Just in the background you saw Gosku. He's fallen off the back of these guys. So the wet weather not playing to its strength, I think it's fair to say. I don't know about you, but I can't see through the spray. I'd have to come out, have an ultra T-cam.
I'm just looking at the speedo, and I do see the DRS light flicking on and off for some people. So there's some brave people out there for sure.
A lot of people. No, Alex, I'm saying the DRS is actually easily usable. I suppose it is in the straights, but you still have to have quite a few stones to use it.
Yeah.
I would imagine. Yeah, that's
you don't want that hanging on for too long, more than you're expecting. That's for sure. That's,
Unstoppable's had a bad run through 14. He's now got Tauju right on his tail. I bet he had a pretty decent run through 15 then. And there we go. There's the DRS open for Tauju. So I think both of them use it on the straight. The big diving move!
Inside, much later on the brakes. Left room, but...
Oh, that was
yes.
That was a heart-in-mouth moment there for Tauju, but whether he intended to make a dive on the inside, he committed to it quite early, so I think that was an intentional move. Oh, he's jumped out of the spray. He's
yeah, I think that's just to try and see. I'm looking for a move,
or to see where he's going.
Well, that as well. He's right on brakes. He seems to be more stronger on the brakes.
He's lost a few tenths there.
Bit. Yeah, he catches up on this double right-hander here.
Let's see what he does then. So that is turn 6 and 7. Starting to come downhill then. They're sticking very much to the apex for that turn 8, I can see. And there it goes then. Can give you a nice turn in mid-corner. Only you, Alex Salmon, have got the stones to turn DRS on mid-corner in the wet. Only you, sir. You are quite certifiably mad if that's your game.
Just looking at Puff's time, Puff's just done half a second quicker than Project PD there. He's keeping that gap to the 2 seconds.
Yeah, see where they are this time. That's a nice,
not letting him get away.
Nice number for Project PD there, 149, 999. But again, Puff Pirate 1.5 tenths up. So so he's definitely finding his groove out there in the wet conditions. So there is first and second Project PD and Puff Pirate. There is Manu. He's quite a way down. He's a good 7 seconds down from Puff Pirate, but he's finding himself very much on his own as he's got 7 seconds over Murphy.
Yeah, a double winner from last race there. He's struggling a little bit, but fourth is not to be sniffed at. It's still a solid result.
Elodie there in 5th position's got 2.5 seconds to Battenberg in the lead Panasonic car. There's Steve in the next Panasonic car who's been putting in some pretty impressive overtakes. And then, so he gained about 6 tenths actually on his teammates last lap around. So he could well catch Battenberg before the checkered flag falls. There is Cataclysm in the blue and white car just coming through the shot. The camera gets lost at that point. There is Unstoppable Paul, who has not shaken Tauju since Unstoppable fell into that position. So he's trying hard, but he's yet to get away. Gosku, we saw struggling earlier on in the Renault coloured car number 2. There is Tim in the second Denverville car. He's coming into 6 and 7. Drux also coming into the same complex. So not a great deal of time in between each car, but enough that they're not in immediate challenging position, with the exception of...
Look at that rain.
That's not... Wow, look at the tail of Drux. Whether he's enjoying that or not remains to be seen.
Well...
Some do. Some like rally crossing cars that you shouldn't. These
are definitely ones that you shouldn't.
No. I end up rally crossing cars I shouldn't because I'm too heavy on the right foot.
Ah, well. Oh, have we just lost somebody else?
I think we have. Not entirely sure who. There's Copper Piston now in 15th. There's Ashnoom and Cluck. Oh, Cluck's right with Ashnoom.
Close.
Cluck actually gained 2.5 seconds on Ashnoom, if I can say it properly. And then Kubasnan on the back. I'm not sure who that is.
Doing solid lap times right in the back. It's such a shame that he's so far behind everybody. 50.4.
That's right with
him in the top 4.
Manu actually was quick.
Yeah,
Manu was quickest last time around. The only one in the 49s. He's going to have to rely on a mistake though from the top 2 to get right in that battle. But God, that rain is just
if ever it could happen, it could be here.
Oh yes. And again, Puff Pirate gains another 10th on Project PD. He's going to have to gain more than that in the remaining laps. Lap 9 now.
Yep.
So Project PD doesn't look particularly inclined to make that kind of mistake. But still, Unstoppable. Looking at the graphic there, Unstoppable still with Tauju. Oh, they swapped rounds. So it was Tauju on Unstoppable's case before. And that's exactly a second to Tauju's benefit last time. So, yeah, it's a shame because Unstoppable had that great qualifying, put him right up on the front row, and it's rather unravelled since that mistake. So I wonder if he's kind of shaking his confidence a little bit. He's just being much more cautious in these wet conditions. Tim is still chasing Gosku for 11th position, and Cluck still chases Ashnoom for 16th. So still battling going. Oh, Drux is in trouble! Drux is in trouble! That's on the exit of turn 8. He's found himself on the infield, down to 15th now. Don't see any damage. Damage is not always easy to spot on these things, but he's now having to get back into the rhythm and get on with his day. And we will see then if
Cluck is all over the back here of Ashnim.
He is.
It's hard enough conditions to be driving by yourself, let alone when you've got somebody breathing down your neck.
And again, 1.8 seconds to Cluck's favour last time around over Ashnu. So it's even more difficult following someone that is a little bit off of your pace. And Ashnu jumps to the inside. He's not wanting to let Cluck go, and absolutely fair enough. That is for position. Is Cluck going to try an outside manoeuvre?
Holding the inside on that long right-hander there.
Nope, he opts to remain in position. Of course, that is costing him a lot of time. Exactly as you would imagine.
There's quite a long gap between him and the next person, though, so I think all they can really hope to achieve here is to get past Ashnum. Beyond that, I don't think there's going to be an awful lot more that you can gain in the last.
I think Cluck's struggling for. I think Cluck's struggling for tyre temperature because he was weaving.
Weaving in the wet stuff there.
Yeah. I think he's struggling. I think his tyres have actually gone cold.
Look at that side of that river running across that last turn.
Yeah, there it is. Absolutely, you hit that. If you try and power through it, it just throws the car into a completely different direction. Oh, Ash has gone quite deep into turn one. Clark's going to have a look on the inside. Can't quite get the traction he wants when he wants it, though. Again, he's not looking to push too hard. He realises that the position in front of him is the best one he's going to go for, and he jumps actually to the water.
I think that's just for tyres, wet stuff,
Yeah, so it could be he's actually cooking the tyres as opposed to... I thought they were too cold. They could actually be too hot.
I think so.
But on they go then. So unfortunately we don't really see that on our graphic here. Well, we can see what the pressures are, but it doesn't really indicate how hot they are.
I don't know it's entirely accurate either, to be fair.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Looking at Tim, he's still got the hammer down and pressuring Gosku in front of him. They look to be a holding station at the moment.
Project PD still holding around about 2 seconds over Puff Pirate as they are on the penultimate lap, then streaming on down towards turn 11. Beg your pardon, that is turn 6. I forever getting these corner numbers wrong. You'd have thought, having done the GT3 race for a certain other league earlier this week, you'd have thought I'd have learned by now what the corner numbers are, but I still get them wrong. That's why I have gods like you, Andrex, keeping me on the straight and narrow.
Oh, don't be relying on me yet.
There is Project PD still with Puff Pirate in hot pursuit.
Striking distance. If he makes a slight mistake, though, he just needs to touch the grass, and you're going to lose like 5 seconds if you start spinning up and pointing in the wrong direction. It could easily be 10 seconds. So it's he just needs to stay there. I don't think he's quite got the pace to challenge him on outright speed. But yeah, it is very tricky. And that last corner, if you get the angle wrong as you're going through that little river that's going across track, yeah, you easily spit you out and ruin your day for sure.
The Panasonic cars are getting close together. That is Steven Battenberg. Steve has been reading his teammate in for a while. That was a second he gained last time, so they could well have a battle before the lap is done. There is 8 tenths or so between the pair of them, so that is a battle waiting to happen as the top two have started, or top three now, have started lap 12. Still finding the 49s out there, and Papa's right there on pace with Project PD then, so it's just...
Couldn't get much closer than that.
No, not easy. What's that, about 8 thousandths between them? Oh, and I think Steve didn't get a good run through aforementioned river. I think he lost him a bit of time. He was still quicker than Battenberg by a couple of tenths, but there's still 8 tenths or so between them.
Checking in with Cluck there, but he's still sliding about a little bit, so I think he's definitely got tyre issues. He's not able to get the traction that he needs to get the power down and drive past Ashnoom at the moment.
Yeah, Alex in chat raises a good point that James did actually remind me of earlier, is that the front left is what gets all the punishment. You'll almost certainly see people burning that out, as the particularly in the feature race. You may even see people coming in twice, purely for the wear on that front left. So, oh, there's that's Eladir you saw going through the shot there. So Eladir isn't home and dry either. For one of the daft pun. But Project PD has fought off the ever-looming presence of Puff Pirate. Now the last 2 turns. And he looks pretty faultless. There's the river once again. There we go. And he's got it right. Your winner. Home. Yes, winner of the sprint race is Project PD with Puff Pirate coming home in second. And Manu rounding out the podium 3 in the Denverville car.
Yeah,
very nice.
Over P4 onwards, isn't he?
Yeah, good 13 or so seconds down to Murphy, who won both rounds last time, so that's going to really stir up the championship somewhat.
Certainly is.
Oh, again, that river is just absolutely scary as hell. So Murphy then claims 4th. Eladir in the Sheriff in car is going to take 5th position. He looks quite happy about that. Battenberg does manage to fend off Steve for 6th position. Catch a Glimpse was right there in 8th with Tauju in short succession in 9th. Unstoppable finishing the race in 10th place. Gosku is going to claim 11th. Wow, that's wide. That's determined by Tim, but the line...
Last corner.
Yeah.
Go.
Well, yeah, very much so. I mean, the line needed to be much further along the road, and whoa, what a stylish finish there by Tim. There is Knuckle, actually with copper pistons right with him as well.
A bit of a challenge at the end.
Drux is going to come along the line, across the line in 15th place. Clark did actually claim Ash's name. We were looking away at the time.
That?
Oh, he's letting him back through. Okay, maybe he felt there was an unfair overtake.
I don't know whether he just got a really bad exit or not. I don't know.
Oh, look at that! Scoberstale right with him. Right at the very end, considering he pitted right at the beginning, was something like 2 minutes down. He did actually finish right with
another 150.
Oh, what might have been. Unbelievable. But there it is.
I look forward to seeing what he does in the next race. How he manages.
47.3. That was set kind of lap 3, I think, for Project PD then to take the win with Puff Pirate 2, Manu 3, Murphy 4, Eladir 5, Battenberg 6, Steve G in 7th, Cataclysms 8, Towdy 9, and Unstoppable rounds out the top 10. What a stunner.
But we want more of that, please.
Oh, yes. Do bear with us then whilst we get ready for the feature race, which will be taking place ever so shortly. So we will be returning once, of course, the session will return back to the lobby. And there it goes. What I am going to do at this point is I should have had this prepared beforehand, admittedly, for there was a video prepared that was, if were I ready in time, it would have actually played at the time. So bear with me. If I can't spell, Revolutions. I was going to try and grab the aforementioned.
I think you can set you as broadcaster with a restart.
You should be able to, yes.
Yeah. Do you want broadcaster or director? Which do you want?
I will take broadcaster.
Okay.
Please, kind sir.
Yeah, it's not me, but I'll type it.
Oh, yes. So, yes, those that... so, Mr. Salmon, if you would care to return to us, or any of those that had trouble, may now return as we get ready for the feature race. See if I can find the video for which... Because I had a bit of trouble. I was actually linked it in Steam, but I had trouble actually bringing the thing live. I think I might have it now, so I am going to resort to that so you can see the video I should have put up earlier, but you'll see what I mean. And there it is. And there it is. Right, so returning to the action, we hope very, very shortly. Andrex, are you not hearing me?
Yes.
Aha, yes, marvellous. Yes, we are still live, sir, to answer your question. So, no naughty words.
Would I ever?
And
down... it looks as if... So we have what was a random weather slot in this feature race, which was unknown to the drivers prior to tonight, which has just literally been chosen now, and it is a dry, it looks like either medium or light cloud. So it will be rain to dry.
Ooh.
That transition, I don't know when that's going to happen, as to whether it is a mandatory stop with a forced tyre change. So it's whether people are gambling to pit early and just run the wets all the way through, with the track maybe not drying enough for slicks at the end, or maybe it will, although that last turn, that will be hellish scary in slicks. I can tell you that right now.
On a drying track, yes.
Yes, and it's just enough to kind of lull you into enough of a kind of dry-ish line throughout most of that uphill into the left-hander, and then all of a sudden there will be that river, which I do not think will go away.
Not in a hurry, no. So
that's going to be like a Mario Kart mushroom right there. And I foresee people being caught out for that one, is my prediction. So I think we've got another 10 minutes or so hold until we release them out into the wild.
Indeed.
For qualifying again.
Yeah, as a reminder, the reason that is done is because of the live track system within the game. It is to ensure that the weather conditions are equal for all drivers. So obviously with the way that the pit positions are made, some may get out earlier than others. And so it is no advantage given to anybody that gets out early. People still want to get out early to get as much track time as possible, of course, but the weather conditions will be the same irrespective of when you come out of the pits. So the 10 minutes now is for basically the track to fill up with water and for the cars to then start to float. So the rudders and the engines at the back can then work.
Indeed. So we have got a few people that are missing. Oh, hello, Manu.
Hello.
Oh, hello, Manu. The Lord God of RSR joined us in the commentary box.
Just want to give you a heads up. The second slot will be light cloud. If you haven't noticed it yet.
We didn't pick up on that one. Thank you. Yes, nice one.
Yes, yeah, like a little wheel of fortune, and light cloud came out.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah, we're starting like at like roughly 10 minutes again. The qualifying.
Cool.
Hopefully everything went good.
Yeah, we'll grab some people up after the race for interview. On the end of this one, we didn't do it on the first race, but we'll pick some people up for sure.
I'm already happy. I achieved P3 in the sprint race. So
yeah, good job.
My job is done.
You can repeat that surely.
My job is done here. All right, guys.
You've set expectations now. You gotta
That's
match that at least.
I don't know. Let's have a look. I haven't practiced in dry conditions, so it will be interesting when the track is actually trying, and is it like worth going on slicks and stuff like that. So
I think that could be a dangerous call. We were just discussing that about that river on the final corner. That could be very lethal.
Well, then I leave you alone with discussing, and I'm going to the toilet and get something to drink. And
lovely.
Hopefully see us after the second race. If I'm still alive.
We look forward to it. Probably more than he does.
Well, maybe.
Ooh, yes, I'm very. Yeah, but that's the thing, though. It's not going to be bang on halfway through the race when the weather is going to transit, and even when it does, it's still going to take time to dry out. So and just
I don't know that it'll dry out enough.
That's another possibility.
It takes a long time for that standing water to dissipate. It's only a 24-lap race. I suspect the dry won't even start until probably a minimum of halfway through, which is lap 12. So 12 laps. I don't think it's going to be a lot to push that wet stuff out of the way. I think it'd be a big risk to get the slicks on.
That is all going to be it's all a matter of when. Yeah,
well, that's it. Because you could be gaining a lot of time throughout the entire lap, but then have to slow down for, say, that last corner and lose maybe a second or 2 seconds on that last corner. But do you gain enough overall everywhere else on the track to compensate and be in a net profit on your lap times?
Now they have to
be a lot of unknown.
They have to come into the pits anyway, so
yes,
they've proven that the tyres will last half the race, although the front left is going to be a little bit angry. So it's all going to be down to how much can they, how well can they manage. It all comes right back down to tyre management. How well can they manage a wearing set of wets up to the point they change tyre, and are they going to risk the dries? So we don't know what the weather's going to be like. I mean, we assume that the rain is going to gradually get lighter and lighter as opposed to, monsoon and then stop. That would be a bit strange.
Well, throughout any kind of practice sessions I've had in other leagues, it can be so varied as to when it starts and stops, and as you say, like the rate of rainfall can fluctuate so much from being very light and therefore still slicks being faster even in the rain to when that transition is to when the wets are the better option. But it could be interesting, this one. I think going from the wet to the dry, I think the track might hold some mines for some people.
It's times like this when the commentary box seat is even more comfortable. Because having raced in a few leagues, not in these things in the wet, but having raced a few times, I know how stressful it gets. I know I don't handle it very well. I'm a very inexperienced racer. I make no secret of that. But yeah, there are times when you think, really, why am I putting myself through this?
Yeah, it's and with that weather slot being unknown, it means you kind of have to practice for both eventualities of whether the wet just stays wet all the way through, when's the most optimal time to pit, like it'll be the halfway point. But if it doesn't and it dries up, have you then blown that optimal fully wet race strategy by pitting too early and then missing out on a potential drier line? If it does dry up, it's going to be tricky, because if it does dry up, those wets are not going to like it. They're going to struggle.
And then blizzard.
Holding out until as last moment that you possibly can before coming into pit, I think is the way to go. But then you're quite easily losing a lot of time on worn, very overheated tyres.
And then blizzard.
This could go either way for any of them. You could get somebody from out of contention suddenly being right up at the front, and you could easily go the other way around as well. The guy who's battling for the pointy end could easily get it very wrong and end up way down the grid.
I wonder how much of a difference it makes setup-wise as well, because, correct me if I'm wrong, you're far more an expert than I, but you would want all the downforce you possibly get in the wet. But do you
certainly here, I mean, this is a very kind of, and these cars, as much as they're in air quotes slower corners compared to some other tracks, the downforce still will be kicking in on these cars on these corners. So downforce is definitely going to be. I think aero grip is going to help, certainly when the mechanical grip of those tyres start to go past their best sell-by dates. So, I'm always a huge fan of having downforce. For me, but the straights aren't that long that the lower downforce really would have that much of an advantage. But obviously, if it does dry out quite early, you might not need as much downforce. So if you're running, it's been a long time since I've touched these cars. I'm not a huge fan of these coffins with wheels and open tops. But I think it could be in your favour to have more downforce than not.
Few people starting to get out of their pit garages by the sound of it. There's still another minute to go before they're going to be released. As Project PD, he's definitely looking to
rolling forward.
Indeed, he'll stop at the end of the pit lane. We can't really see quite where he is in relation to the pit lane exit. But, oh, there's Murphy. So, 4th last time out. Wants to try and climb further up the field. We don't know.
I'm not sure how the table's looking at the moment with him finishing a double win last race and then a 4th so far. So he's certainly going to want to hopefully improve on a P4 from last race. But I suspect there was maybe a little bit of tweaking going on during the intermission between race 1 and 2 tonight.
Yes, indeed. It's interesting that Murphy's actually put himself back in the pit box. Maybe he feels, oh no, everybody will of course return to the pit box. Were there? As Manu's actually still out there. A few people are still out there. Oh, that's... And Manu's away.
Oh, they're quite sharp on their 10-minute mark. Okay.
Yes. I'm sure Manu will let it slip. It's only about 6 seconds to the positive. So there they go then. There is Manu. That is our project.
Come back out again.
Project PD straight on the case. And I'm not, exactly as you said last time, I'm not convinced that coming out early is going to save you an awful lot, other than the fact that you don't have a face full of spray. It's not exactly going to give you a drier track, just not fighting somebody else, essentially. I want to keep an eye on Cobusnell as well to see how he does, because he was setting very impressive lap times for pretty much all race long. He just had to go into the pits for, one assumes, a new front wing.
I suspect so. Now, he's certainly top 4 pace, so he's certainly in contention. We'll see what he does in this one. I can't remember where he qualified last race, actually, to be fair. But
Cobusnell, no, I can't know that. Unfortunately, so...
Where's Murphy? He's up here.
Maybe. He's got quite a few people ahead of him, so he's going to have to be careful about how he conducts himself at the moment. Oh, there is, I think that's Miyagi in the white. I think there's a couple of them that are running the plain white car. I didn't really see them. That is indeed Miyagi. So we didn't really see a lot of the white cars in the last race. That's one of the Denverville cars. That's either Tim or it must be Tim, because we saw Manu further up the road.
Did we lose Miyagi? Because I think I saw Miyagi joining the lobby.
We may well have done, actually. Yeah, good call.
Possibly.
I'm going to see if I can bring up the points table to see if I can figure out who's actually where. There's Battenberg, who came across the line 6th, just ahead of his teammates. You've got a fan going on in the background, haven't you?
I do. I have to turn that off. I apologise. It's still stinky hot.
Yes, uncomfortably so. So there is Puff Pirates chasing home Project PD, of course, for the win last time. So we will see how he does in the feature race, of course, with the changing conditions. Again, got quite a few ahead of him. There is Drux. He looks like he's just started his time lap. He looks like he's trying to get on with it.
I think so.
I think that's Catch a Glimpse that's directly ahead of him. If I remembered, he was in the TSO colour. I read that as Teapot for a second. It's Tespo on the rear wing, but when the airbox covers the S, I read it as Teapot. So that is what that team is now referred. See, that says Teapot to me. So, sorry, Catch. That is now what your team is referred to. It's irrelevant what it actually is.
Team Teapot.
It is now Team Teapot. I am going to catch a lot of stick for that, I suspect. But yeah, it is now Team Teapot. It was on Stopper Paul. Started well, but it didn't go particularly well for him.
Don't worry, they want to be racing each other on the qualifying.
No, not particularly.
It's not going to help you either of you, to be honest.
Nope, not at all. But qualified well, but didn't go well for him in the race. Let's see then how it pans out for him. I found the points table now. Just now I'm going to bring up the standings to see who is where. A little bit of quick math. There is Manu, who came across the line in 3rd position.
We should be getting some people putting some times on the board fairly soon. There we go. Alex Salmon, who we lost last time from we'll call it a technical issue.
He's done it again.
Not doing another lap.
That seems to be a favourite. Just throw it over the line and then bury it. And Manu, wow, 47.7 for Manu.
Yeah, I think we got 47s in the last qualifying session, so we'll see if anybody There we go. That's PD just knocked
47.6.
hundreds.
Oh, wow. So Project PD then gained 40 points. I believe the points of this. Oh no, beg pardon. He gained 26 points because of course it was the sprint race last time. There is Kobe Snell, who is second. Oh, split the 300s gap. Nice,
Yep.
with 200s of a second between himself and Project PD. Very nicely done. So we, of course, and he then goes and builds sandcastles in that particular gravel trap. 47.3, wow, 3/10 off of that particular time by Project, who has come back out again. 5.5 minutes to go, so plenty of time to do something about it. So with let's just look at the top few then. So the winner of the last race was Project PD, who finds himself at 86, I beg your pardon. Second was Puff, who was on 35. He has gained 22, so 57 for him. So he's still, that put him up to, well, certainly no higher than second. Third was Manu. Where's Manu? Where is Manu?
He didn't have a particularly very good race 1, race 2.
No, he did
he's
not.
18th down today.
Yeah, double 16th for him last time around. So he's gained 19. He's already over doubled his points tally. It finds him on 53. That's a lot more than he should be. 33. So that jumps him right up to around about 8th or 9th, depending on where the rest, of course, fall. So yeah, that's really going to help his cause somewhat. But yeah, unfortunately, I didn't. Go on.
No, I'm just going to watch Project as he builds up for a flyer lap here through the puddle.
Yeah, it's not become a river yet, so we'll see then how he does. DRS open for him. He's got 11 litres of fuel on that. That's a lot of fuel, but these things do drink quite a bit per lap, so that's probably not an entire surprise then. Around the long turn 1, then sweeps through turns 2 and 3. That long right-hander is a double apex turn. Someone getting well out of the way. That's Miyagi getting out of the way. I think Miyagi's the only one. I've got something in my head that's telling me there's 2 white marked cars.
Miyagi.
4 and 5. Who do we have another guest car in today? I've already forgotten. That's terrible. Nakor. Yeah, that's the other one.
Yeah.
So we do have 2 white marked cars. So through 6, 7. Now the left-hander of 8.
It's a little bit wide. Get some grip.
Wow, that's he even put the DRS. According to our interface, the DRS is still open. I cannot believe that.
I think there's a bit of a delay.
I suspect so. Yeah, I cannot say unless he really does. He really has his Weetabix this morning. As streaming on down then to turn 11, and again, just the nose will not grip.
No.
Yeah, the nose just does not want to go where it's told. Now uphill 12 and 13. He's got
still wide. It might be. I don't know. I don't think it's a better line due to water on track, but it doesn't look like there's enough standing water on the inside of these corners to be worthwhile avoiding it.
Yeah.
But,
oh wow! Look at the understeer there as he came through 14.
Pile of it.
Oh, there's the river. Oh, he caught that at quite a narrow point actually, so that was well timed. Does he improve?
You want to straighten it up as much as you can as he hit the puddle.
He did improve.
He did improve.
But not in position.
Not enough.
So he'll come back out for another go. That's,
and Manu has just popped her in the second.
Oh, nice. 47.615. 2.5 tenths just over from Puff Pirate, who is also out on track. Cobasnell's 4th. 147.705. I think that was the time he set before. There is Cobasnell. He's come. Where is he? That is turn 5. He's just come through. So heading down.
My predictions is it's going to be these 4, as they stand at the moment, are going to probably break away from the main pack.
Now, interestingly, Project PD went back to the pits. He will not have time to come out and do another lap then.
No.
So that he will start no higher than 3rd. Cobasnell is pushing on, coming through 9 and 10. Come over the crest, all the way over to the right-hand side. setting himself up for 12-13. And Puff Pirate's back in the pits. His day is done. He improved on time as well. 47.1. Wow. Oh, big pardon.
Look at that river.
That was 14 and 15. I got the corner numbers wrong again. Does he improve? He doesn't, but he's got time to... He doesn't, but he has got time to do another one. He's looking like he's really pressing on. There is Alex Salmon, who, as we said earlier, we lost him in the first race. Qualified well, but was not able to utilise it. So hopefully we'll see him in the second race. That's one of the Sheriff of the cars. Well, that's not Puff Pirate, because he is back in the pits. I've forgotten who the other one was. I'll get used to that by the time the season ends. Round what I think is 12 and 13. Oh no, 14-15. There's the river.
Final.
Oh wow, that river really threw Alex Salmon to the outside. He does not improve, but he has got time and fuel to go again.
Both Puff and Manu are both in the pit, so they will not improve on their times. It's whether Project PD and Kobschnell are going to improve and potentially jump.
No, because I think that's I'm pretty sure that's an outlap for Project. But whoa, that's committed. I mean, he's pressing on. We'll see if he was actually on a time lap. Whoa, that's too much.
Yeah, that's not going to improve.
No, that's his day done. There is Kobschnell.
Going through into the final sector now.
Down ahead, then back up again for 14.
A bit wide.
12 and 13 rather. Now up the last stretch for the last two turns. A little bit laggy there. It's doing a little bit of cramping on my screen, so a little bit of lag.
Yeah, we're good here.
Just me then. So through the last two turns, again you can see he's turned. Oh,
that's going to be the understeer.
Yeah. Oh, he's really pressing on. Just that river just pushed him out too wide. I think a river's worse this time than it was last time.
Yeah.
Eladir 147.897, 7/10 down from Puff Pirate coming through. 12 and 13 himself, and wow, that's a lot of drifting going on. That's in homage to the drift cars. Your favourite, the Mazda Red Bull. Oh, there's Team Teapot in the background.
0.2 off getting into 4th position, so...
Whoa, too much again!
Oh, there's another one.
Oh dear. That was Alex Salmon, did not improve from 6th position, that 48-2. Oops, and that was Cataclysm. And that's a slow-moving Battenberg. He will start in 15th. 149.
Also, he did set a time this time, but he's not having a good day.
I think he's avoiding the weather.
I would too. Imagine driving around in a coffin full of water. No, thank you.
You have to pull the plug out at the bottom.
The drainage of bung at the bottom.
That's it, yeah. Oh goodness me!
We are done.
Qualifying then for the feature race. Puff Pirate takes the pole this time, 147.179 with Manu on second. Project PD 3, Kobschnell 4, Eladir 5, Alex 7 6, Murphy 7, Steve 8, Cataclysm 9, and Copper Piston is rounding out the top 10. Tim, how do you on Stopper Paul? Wow, it's a very long way down considering Stopper Paul was 3rd last time. He's in 13th with Miyagi, Battenberg, Gosku, Cluck, Drux, Ashnoom, and Nakor rounding out the field. Whew, this is going to be interesting. So it's all eyes to the sky for when all this water is going to stop.
Yes, yeah, this could easily play into your hands very nicely or very badly indeed.
Yep, absolutely.
If you get it just right, if you get that crossover just right, and if you gamble, which I think it essentially is going to be, as to whether it's going to be later on dry enough for slicks or not, then yeah, I think there could be a lot of time to be gained in the right strategy for sure.
And Alex Salmon has made it to the grid this time.
Good.
Well, there he is. And at 6th place then, with that is Steve, that's directly behind him in the Panasonic car. So we saw him doing well. Kobschnell starts well in 4th, so very interested to see how he does, particularly in the crossover. So then they have decided on their strategies. Wind him up and let him go.
Green light.
Oh, that's not a good start for Cobus now.
He's going to lose one position and possibly another one on his inside.
What a cracking start. And Manu's up to the lead. And Project PD on the outside of the podium. Oh, that's Cobus now bouncing off of, I think that was possibly Murphy. Project PD again on the opening turns. Gets up to the lead. Oh, Cobus now's down to 7th. A terrible start for him. Can't see anybody through all the spray. But Project PD leads from Manu, from Puff Pirate, from Alex Salmon's gained a couple. Oh, there's someone round the wrong way. That's Murphy. Murphy, I think, has fallen to the field. It is indeed. Oh, no.
Right at the back.
Yeah. Oh, that was a weird camera. So, so he is down to last. What a great shame. There is Alex Salmon on the tail of Puff Pirate. That is not what Puff Pirate would have wanted. Without a fairly, it wasn't a bad start, but Project PD was a whip it out of the trap when the lights went out. You can see the gap between Alex and Eladir in 5th position there. 1.5 separates Alex and Eladir. Then he's almost pushing Puff Pirate through turn 5. As they now stream down, there is Steve G in between Cataclysms and Miyagi. Now over the crest, heading towards turn 6. They're going to bunch up again. You can see in the background that is him, the Copper Piston in the black car, who was having a look around people. There's just so much spray at this phase of the race, exactly as of course we had last time. Through and now up the hill. Then you can see that's Eladir in the Sheriff in the car. It's got the benefit, at least, of being able to see. Oh, was that someone going?
That was somebody in an alternate line. Oh! Wow. Well,
that's Tauju.
Drucks, but he's tapped the wall.
That should be.
I don't know whether that'll be suspension damage. I don't think that's going to be very nice to drive for a lap or 2.
I mean, it was quite a light tap, but you never know with these things.
These things are very fragile.
Very true. It was Tauju that was sideways blocking the road, so he's now. Actually, Tauju has actually got a. Oh, he didn't set a lap time last time. He probably had an invalid lap. There he is. It was he that was facing sideways, so he's got a lot to do. He's already 4.5 down from Drux. So all to do then. So jump further up. Murphy is up to 17th then. We saw him spin facing the wrong way on the first lap. Whoa, that's someone running very, very wide. There is Tim in the other Denverville car up to 9th. Unstopper Paul in 12th. Started, I think, 2nd or 3rd last time.
Yep.
Hopefully he'll be able to do something from where he currently sits. And Project PD's got Manu for company then, but they've broken free of Puff Pirate. Yeah, look at that.
They're pulling away.
No, but Puff Pirate is not able to keep pace. He's defending hard from Alex Salmon. So there's two pairs going on at the moment. 2 pairs of battles. That's Project PD and Manu, although PD was a second quicker than Manu last time. And then you got Puff Pirate and Alex Salmon.
Not a second ahead.
Not a second ahead yet, but remember...
Interesting maths going on by cars.
But remember, Project PD started behind Manu on the grid, so that'll be where some of that is. Some of that's maintained.
Yeah, up to, yeah, maybe.
Streaming on then towards turn 4 and 5, are we? I've lost track of where we are again. Yeah, that's 4 and 5. There's Steve on the back of Eladir. So it looks like we've got 2 by 2 by 2, but it looks like Cataclysms... Oh, that's not turn 5 at all. It's 14.15 towards the end of the lap. It looks like Cataclysms has got a bit of a train behind him. Miyagi's doing pretty well. That's 8th position for the white car with Tim just behind. And Cluck, bearing in mind, Cluck started 17th.
I think so, yeah.
Is now up to 10th. What a great start. This is the start he wanted last race, but just completely under... Oh, Manu's right with Project PD. Manu gained 9/10 in the last lap. So there they go. You just saw them going through the shot. My camera's lost. There we go. And Manu's right there. He's looking to make a move. Project PD won't go to the inside line for turn 6. And Manu looked like he was trying to get a better drive, but couldn't use the extra pace he has. To be very, very careful. Yeah, very careful how he does this. And Project PD hanging on to the inside line around turn 8. See, a crazy man would have gone for the dive on the inside of 9. Manu knows much better than that. And whilst they're battling, of course, that's bringing Puff Pirate and Alex Salmon into frame. I mean, they're still 1.5 seconds down, but that could well bring those two in. and make this train much longer. Manu having a think about it on the inside of 11, but no, doesn't.
Just showing intention. I don't think he's really planning on making a challenge too hard at this stage. And another river going across the track there as well. But,
lovely.
I think he's just biding his time. I think he looks as if he might have the pace. I don't know whether it's potentially just a mistake by PD, but I would say Manu's probably certainly able to match him at the moment.
Oh, Manu's deep into the last turn.
He's maybe trying to straighten this one up over the river here.
Could be. Oh, you heard how the rear wheels spun up
he
then.
Did get a better exit.
Oh, this
catching up a little bit. DRS open.
Yeah.
Have to look on the outside.
You heard how the rear wheels spun up just that split second, and that's how several people's qualifying came to an end. Oh, there's another river forming there actually, coming through turns 1 and 2. So
definitely heavier rain than previous race.
Absolutely. And Manu having a look on the inside of turn 4. Just how did he slow that down? But that put Project PD completely offline as they now come through 5 and 6. Manu
looks on the outside.
Yeah, he's going to
try. Come on, cameraman.
Yeah, it's nice to look at the field behind, but keep up with the battle for the lead. And that is again so very close. Now into 6, into 7. And again, Manu's got to bide his time, but all the time he's doing that, there's Puffbar and Alex Salmon in the background. They are closing in. So they gain
a little bit, half a second on that last laps. P3 and P4 caught up. So yes, it's that battle of do we just do our own pace and not challenge, get a bit of a gap first before we really start to play? Or do I think I've got the pace to get past him and pull away a little bit? But you've got to think of the long game on this one a little bit to an extent. Because it might be 24 laps, but I don't think at the pace difference you're not going to gain that much of a lead over 24 laps even.
Now, there's another thing to bear in mind is, of course, they have the opportunity to change the setup in between the two races. So, whatever setup Project PD ran first time around doesn't mean he's running the same thing this time.
I think he's just opening up this last corner again, so that through that puddle. Is he going to get a better drive? I think they're pretty much matched. He might have a little look here. Go on, go now, before he blocks you. Nope. Have a look around the outside, but I don't think that's going to work really.
It's too long for that. Even in the wet, you've got to have such more speed and confidence doing an outside manoeuvre through turns 1 and 2. But again, Project PD is defending everywhere. He's not confident on keeping Manu behind, just racing normal lines. And again, Manu couldn't turn in any earlier. Project PD was on the inside line, and Puff Pirate gained a couple of tenths last time. So. And there's the next battle. That's Eladir and Steve. Not too far behind again. Man is showing his nose there. Coming. Now the cameraman's completely lost.
Seriously.
Cameraman totally lost there. So,
have you forgotten to pay them this week?
Oh, did we not put 50p in the meter?
No, I didn't.
Oh dear. He's run out of batteries. Oh, not again, Cobus now. Oh, what a shame.
That's a long stop. I would imagine he'll be changing tyres just in case he can get to the end, but I think 19 laps on that set of rubber, and the
asking a bit
potential
much.
of it drying up as well. Well, yes, I don't know. Well, I don't know why he went in, so maybe it was tactical. Maybe he was getting blocked and had the pace over the guys ahead of him, and he was a little bit further down again. So.
Well, his
tactical.
His previous lap was 2:09, so maybe he'd either made a mistake.
That would have been with the in lap, though, I think. With
true,
the line on the pit lane.
True. So, and again, it looks like Project PD just goes for a later line into that particular chicane than Manu. But look at the drive that Manu goes for. I wonder if
they're going to have a run.
It looks like it. They do look a bit closer this time. And there goes Manu to the inside.
Whoa.
Wow.
Whoa! That's gone horribly wrong.
Yes, Project PD was a little bit too eager to get back to the racing line and has completely overcooked it and literally thrown that into the dust. That's going to drop him down to 6th at least. Does he get going before? Oh, Miyagi has got Cataclysm for company. Oh, that was Miyagi was
Teapot.
In Team Teapot. Yep, Cluck is in. So he's looking to get an early pit stop as well. He's not confident. Oh, that's a slightly unusual line into your pit box.
See if they're dropping any fuel in it as well. I don't know if they need fuel or not.
No.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
he did.
41 up to 69. So
interesting.
They do it at the same time. The tyres and fuel going at the same time. So it is worth having a slightly lighter fuel. You don't have to fuel to the end.
I thought fuel and tyres were done separately.
Not in these ones, not in Formula Renault. No.
Wow.
The GT cars, yes, but not in these ones.
I'm used to seeing GT related cars pit stops.
Indeed.
So yeah, he fueled right up to 100 litres, so that car's going to be really heavy. So
I don't know what the maximum tank is, so I don't know if that is the max and that is the earliest you could stop to get to the end. I don't know. I have no idea about fueling.
Well, nor I. So Manu leads them by 2 seconds over Puff Pirate. Puff Pirate has broken away from Alex Salmon a little. There's a one and a bit seconds between those two. 4 seconds between themselves and Eladir. So, and Eladir's still got Steve Riccone. And in the background we just saw that was Project PD and Miyagi having a fight. You can see that in the background. Look at that. Is Project PD in trouble? He's lost their position to Miyagi. They're still side by side. Miyagi has nosed in the lead. Is he going to be able to do it? That's very, very close.
I would rather be on the inside on this corner, that's for sure.
Yeah. Oh, and look at the opposite lock he put in there again. So, wow, Project PD is struggling, and there's Cataclysm coming in. So, again, quite a few people playing the early pit stop game. Yeah, he'd fueled quite light. There was 24 litres left in that car. We've just seen somebody leave the pits with 100 litres on board. So, he'd fueled fairly light, which is understandable. You know you've got to come in, so no point completely tanking the car to begin with. Yeah, I love the fact that they have slicks ready. They pick them up and then put them down again. Yeah, I would put them down. Are you crazy? Oh, lost cameraman again.
Come on. Catch up, please. Anytime.
You spin me right around. Yeah. Yeah, so Project PD has lost that pace. So whatever changes he's done to his setup has not worked. It was seen that.
What lap times were they doing? 50? I think it is heavier rain.
That's someone off. That's Steve. Steve's gone off. We saw him flying off. There he is. Oh, he's lost his wing.
Oh dear.
Yeah, we saw him get all out of shape. No, steady. He's jumping off the racing line. That's absolutely fine. Somebody is coming. That is Ashnu coming through. Oh, that's going to hurt.
Rogue's going to get past as well. I mean, that's going to be a horribly slow lap on that one.
Yeah, just what you want. A car that won't go straight in this kind of weather condition. Yeah, I'm not surprised he's sticking to the grass. There's probably more grip out there for him. So, yeah, that's going to be a long and painful drive back to the pits for Steve then in a crabbing car. But you never know with these changeable conditions. You just don't know what will happen.
It'll take a bit of time to repair the damage, unfortunately, but...
Oh, Project PD's all over the place. Has he got damage on the car? Did he bounce off the wall? Yep.
Tim just got past.
I wonder, what was Project last... 204 last time around. He was recovering from that particular incident. I don't think... Did he bounce off the wall? I don't think he did.
I don't think so.
He's in.
He's coming in, so maybe he has got damage.
Yeah, would certainly seem so. I mean, if he did bounce off the wall, it wouldn't have been much, but it probably would have been enough. And Cluck's in there a long time. Hey, fueled up to 95 litres, but...
oh, get it going, son.
Oh, he's retired.
Okay.
He's
not playing.
Nope, he's had enough of that one. Okay, that's a bit of a shame. That was quick.
65 litres.
No, just a quick fuel stop then. Steve's come in, so he's made it back to the pits then in that very wounded Panasonic car. There he is. Oh,
second hand.
Very. I love the way that the front wing magically appears.
Ta-da!
If only. So he's going to be there a while, I think it's fair to say.
No.
Fair bit of repairs, some fuel, and what have you. There is Cataclysm, been through the pits recently. The Tespo car following.
I wonder if it is going to be two stopping on wet before it even considers a dry change.
Could well be. That's not Project PD struggling there, is it?
It is. He's going incredibly slow.
And lost cameraman again.
Well, just fit that.
Yes, frustrating cameraman again.
That's very early on. No power.
Something has gone very horribly wrong with that car.
It do look like wet, but the way he's driving doesn't
You would never go to dries.
They are wet.
Yeah, you'd never go to dries in this condition. It does look like, though, the rain is beginning to stop. The rain has slowed.
It'll be a long while before that dry line becomes viable to switch.
But
he's going very slow.
You could think, though, that he has gone for the slicks mentally early.
No, I mean,
I'd be surprised.
I think they do show up on screen.
I'd have thought so.
And it looks like he has, but...
Ashnoon's in. There's rivers out there as well. You can't be going onto the slicks this soon.
No. As I was saying before, it might be a stage where...
Oh, of course, his pit stop was really short. His pit stop was really short, wasn't it? So he only took fuel. I bet those tyres are just completely dead.
I don't think it's just a tyre wear thing.
Really?
He's only put 35 litres in there, to be fair.
That was brief. He's expected to come back in again very soon. As Drux has come in as well.
We're 9 of 24, so we're about just over a third distance. I would...
Well, that's how the wet should behave.
I would gamble. That's another rugger. I would not think that slicks are going to be used until the very, very end, if at all.
Well, on the external shot, the rain is quite clearly there. But when we were looking on board, it didn't look that bad. But the sun is definitely starting to come out. You're starting to see shadows appear. So, but the rain's got to stop first. So Miyagi up to 5th now, due to the misadventures of others. He's got Eladir right in front of him, giving him a shower, with Tim behind, receiving the same. They are...
Keeping an eye on it, just within striking distance.
Absolutely, and don't think these guys haven't come in yet. They are quite some way behind Alex Salmon, though. A good 10 seconds behind Alex Salmon for 3rd, who in turn is 4 seconds behind Puff Pirate. Oh no, Copper Piston, that's not how you do that. He's lost
missing a front nose as well.
Yeah, he's basically copied what Steve did, and he's struggling to get that thing to turn right at all. So that's going to hurt. Miyagi's come in, so let's see what he does.
We've got 1 litre fuel. This had better work.
Yeah, please.
I don't like risking it until that late that you cannot do another lap in case the pit doesn't work for whatever.
Yeah, in case the pit crew forget.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's infallible that
but again,
doesn't work.
Only 33 litres.
But he's gonna. I suspect if he's pitting at lap 10, he's definitely going to be pitting again anyway.
Yeah, Taudu's in.
It's 32 laps to get 10 laps. I don't know.
But we're seeing that everybody's ditching these wet tyres after sort of 8 to 10 laps. So yeah, people were. I would imagine people were struggling a bit on their wet tyres in the sprint race. But of course, there's only 12 laps. No point coming in. Well, of course, you've got a much longer race this time. That's Nakor then that's chasing Nakor. That's Nakor. Oh, sorry, Miyagi is chasing Gosku.
Yeah, he's only dropped down to 10th from that pit stop.
That's not bad. Oh wow, really throws it on the inside of...
I think you might be right in terms of those tyres only lasting optimal about 8 or 9 laps. I don't think it was quite viable to pit on race 1. It wasn't quite the tyre wear that felt that you would gain enough from pitting on the first race, but in the second race, with it being longer, I think a 2-stop strategy looks to be the way to go. And it gives that potential opportunity for the second stop. If it stops and dries up, that slicks might be a viable option, but if you were to have to run the next 14 laps on these, I don't think that would be very pleasant.
Project PD is in 17th.
That's not gone to plan at all. He is struggling, has he? I didn't see him come back in again, but he seems to have got the lead out again. He's picked the pace back up again, but last lap with a 2:14. Yeah,
indeed. So he's just really tiptoeing. There's still a lot of spray coming off the tyres. There's still rain falling. The rainfall has lightened.
Yeah,
and there's definitely shadows being cast. So the track is going to start to come to to slick runners. Steve and Copper Piston in the pits. Steve's been in there a while, and Copper Piston will be in there a while, I imagine. There's our lead pair looking to string out their wet tyres as long as possible.
Have we got fuel-wise 11 litres for Manu and 21 for Puff?
Oh, we've just lost another. That's Steve gone.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's, we've lost a couple then. I did see the flash, but I didn't see who we lost first time. I'm surprised it wasn't actually Project PD that we lost.
Well, you could still pick up some beats if the strategy. I mean, he's off the pace for he's like 1 minute 25 behind at the moment, so he's not going to be up at the front end. But if he gets the next strategy right, he could easily jump 5+ places. So he could easily get into the top 10 potentially. If others make the bad choice and he makes the perfect choice, so it's worth having a crack and just going for it. As you say, I think it does look as if there's not really any brain dropping to talk of.
Yeah, but Manu, Puff and Salmon are still in the low 50s, high 49s. Tim's come in, that was from 4th. So that's going to be interesting. He had 11 litres of fuel, so he could have strung it on a bit longer.
It's half distance. Is he just one stopping? And
is he going to go to the dries? That's a risk.
Well,
that's a hell of a risk at this point.
There are some big white puddles in some of those corners at the moment. I wouldn't like to be on slicks right now.
Yeah, that's definitely a buttock clenching moment, particularly that lake that's formed at the end of turn 15. I mean,
there will be a point where you can gain enough time from the rest of the lap on slicks if it's dry enough, and even if you take it very gingerly over those rivers, that will obviously slow your lap down at that point. But there will be a point where it will still be an advantage in slicks, even going through those crazy rivers.
We're not at that point, I don't reckon.
No.
I mean, look at the spray coming off the tyres. That alone tells you how much water is still on the track. But the yardstick is going to be Project PD, isn't it? He's just done a 49. Oh, Cataclysms, careful in the teapot. Yeah, that's gonna. I was a little bit too close to Goscu there, but yeah, Project PD's just done a 149.6. So, oh, Cataclysms getting the tail to go there. There we see Nectar. I've renamed him again. Nakor in the background. So yeah, it looks like the wet runners are beginning to struggle a bit, and it now may be starting to come to the dry runners. But he's a minute and a half. Well, Project PD is a minute and a half off the lead as Cataclysms goes on the inside of Goscu.
I think Project PD is still on the wets anyway, to be honest.
What was? Oh yeah, 150. That's the same pace as the ones at the front.
The ones at the front. Yeah.
Wow, Tim, that's committed. Oh, Goscu's round. Goscu's gone round. There he is. He managed to avoid Nakor, but he continues on his way. Tim in 10th position. No sign of the lead.
Bot's got past to Tim.
He does indeed. Tim in the Denverville car. Look at the size of that!
Yeah.
Oh,
I wouldn't want to be in slicks. I don't care how much quicker it is around the rest of the lap.
It's Cataclysms on slicks. Just look at his tyres as he comes past. No, he does appear like it. Because he went very slowly, unless he just took a bad line
54.
through.
Yeah.
He lost a lot of time. He nearly stopped through in that lake. Oops, that's him wandering off the road at turn 3. So I think these wet tyres may well be outliving their usefulness somewhat. There you see Cobasnell actually in the background. Taudew's come in for 15th. So is he going to risk the slicks? We are getting to that point, but I don't think we're close enough. Certainly not on the pit lane. Oh, did you change or wasn't on the camera?
I changed.
Oh wow, that was.
He fell asleep. We caught him sleeping.
Cobasnell was slightly. Oh, that's Puff. Oh, Manu's in. Oh, Manu was in. He had to. He was low on fuel. What's he going to go
to? For one stopping, but that's what
surely
we're putting on there.
Yeah, the animation doesn't work properly, unfortunately, from the outside. No. So I wouldn't be at all surprised if people appear like they're on wets, but they have actually changed their tyres. So that's going to be interesting. We'll keep an eye on Manu's progress then post-stop. I think it's still a little early.
We're done with the fuel, I think.
Yeah,
I mean, the wheel's changing now.
Aladir is coming in. So the second Sheriff, it's a car, is in. Yeah, I mean, Manu's definitely, yeah, exactly as you say, the fuel went in a while ago, that's tyres going on, unless he's had any damage. So Manu is definitely going to be on slicks when he comes out. He's
well, it's a mandatory tyre change anyway, so he could still be changing to...
Wow, that was quick from Eladir.
It was.
Wow. He's not confident going on to slicks, and you can't blame him.
What is happening to Manu? That is a very long stop for... Considering when the fuel stopped, and the tyres only take 16 seconds.
There must have been damage on that car then. Oh, there's
repairing something that doesn't need repairing, like brakes or something, but he's dropped down to 12th. Now that is a disaster.
Cataclysm and Nakor are both in as well, 12th and 14th, or now 12th and 14th. So there's the white car of Nakor. Again, a very quick stop from Cataclysm.
Looks like wet still.
That looks very much like wet. Nakor is now underway, and Manu's still there. So
that is a disaster.
That's going to drop him such a long
way. About a 2-second semi-comfortable lead.
There's next
I think he has just donated that to Puff Pirate.
Absolutely. Not a lot of spray going on now on the racing line. You're watching there, that's Tim's car, but still a fair bit of spray on the... I would imagine Kovasna probably jumped off of the racing line. Now Manu comes out. Still showing...
14th.
Yeah, well, he's just lost that to Tauju. So... we'll see how he does. If he gets onto the racing line and absolutely flies, then we know he's on the slicks. But if he's
I really don't think he is.
If he's jumping into the wet... yeah, but if he wasn't, surely he'd be on the wet line there. We will see. Oh, Kovasna and Nashnu... Gosky, rather.
Kovasna doing a 51 last lap compared to the guy right the side of him. Tim doing a 57 up ahead. Battenberg in...
now, he's got plenty of fuel, surely, if that's tyres.
I would say so.
Yeah, that's got to be. So we're now getting to the point where the drivers are risking getting onto those dry tyres. Again, the animation...
Pirate doing a 48.8.
Oh, blimey. But then there will be more time to find on the wet tyres.
As the track driver, absolutely. That was very quick.
Yeah, but that was only tyres, no fuel.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so again, the tyres don't visually change, as was rather proven there. So Manu chasing Tauju. Ooh, yep, you saw how his car started to twitch when he hit the wet. So I would wager that's slicks on that car, despite how they appear to us.
Yeah.
He's going to have to be very, very careful how he passes anybody. Because
we'll see how gingerly he takes that last corner through the river.
Yep. May end up going through it backwards. Puff Pirate's in from the lead.
He's straightening it up an awful lot.
Whoa!
He's on slicks. I have to agree with you on that one.
Puff's in, and Manu's... is Manu a lap down? No.
Yeah, I think he must be.
He must be, yeah.
He's down to 15th, so yeah.
Yeah, he's a lap down, so that shows how long his stop was. Puff Pirate, that was a very, very quick stop. I don't think Puff's changed, and that's going to be Tauju in at Manu's mercy. He's already got Gosku for company. Oh, this is what I love when people just chance the slicks at nearly the crossover point. I mean, you can see from the sky there's clearly nothing more going to fall. Sun is out, but it's all going to be down to... and there's still 10 laps to do. So...
see what lap times they're doing, but that's going to be, unfortunately, our only indicators to who's on what rubber.
Well, Manu did a 150 last time, so surely now is the time to get rid of the wets.
Potentially, yeah. But was some of that the in-lap?
No, because... well, possibly. If some of that was the in-lap, then my God, that was a incredible lap time then if part of that was him sat still. No, it can't have been. He was sat there with... no, he had a 3-minute lap last time around. Oh, yeah, 3:47.
Oh, having a look up the inside.
Oh, told you. That was 3:47.
Oh.
I read Tau as TOD, so I got that completely wrong. So it was actually Tauju's lap time I was reading out. So yeah, 3:47 was Manu's last lap.
Yeah.
Alex Salmon leads the way, but of course...
comfortably so at the moment, but he's still to stop, I believe.
Yeah, there's no way the wets are going to last.
No.
Not...
I think it's...
and in he comes.
Oh, where was that? Gosku's playing in the sand.
Yeah. Didn't want to be left out of the sandcar for a race, but... Look at the size of that! That is a...
I tell you that, if on slicks going through there is going to be...
terrifying.
Yeah.
There's going to be ducks in there soon. So, Alex in. Puff Pirate surely...
Fuel-wise, we were only looking at about 8-9 laps. 8 laps to go.
He's left it on 28 litres, so that's the fuel stop for Alex. Comes out in second. There's Tim. He's in 8th. Really getting the time. Murphy's come in from 3rd. Oh,
Manu
that's
doing
close.
a 146. Tim doing a 145.
Yeah, so
Tim's on slick.
Wow, he just blasted past Cobusnell. So yeah, it's now coming to the slick runners, but with that
Murphy.
Yeah, Murphy's in. So we're assuming that anybody that comes in now is going to be going onto the slick tyres, but it's all going to be down to what Puff Pirate and Alex Salmon. Alex, I think we can safely assume, is on those on the slick tyres. Oh, well, dear. Oh, that's not how that's done. I think you found a bit more wet than you wanted there.
Yeah. Puff Pirate with a 211. Was he in the pit?
No, Puffy wasn't. I think Puffy's still on the wets.
Because
he came in a little while ago.
Change, young man.
I think you've got that one. I think you got that call wrong. There's not enough water out there to keep those cold. Cobusnell and Ashlim are in. We'll see what he does, though. He could try and limp that home, but I think he's going to lose.
5-second difference. Well, who's Eleanor's the first guy that we know is certainly on slicks. I think a 49's
42 for Manu.
Yeah. 49 is a good lap for wet on this dry track. He went through that last corner very quickly. I think he's certainly still on the wets. 44.
Oh, wow.
44 flat.
Impressive, but he's got to keep him cold. I would expect to see him flying off the road. Oh, of course, that's his out lap.
That was his out lap.
But he's only 5 seconds behind Puff Pirate, so I would think that he's going to struggle.
Come down. Yeah.
Unstoppable. Assuming I don't recall seeing him in, so is he going to come in? Yeah, he comes.
Comes in now.
Yeah, not surprised. But I think it's a little late to the party for that, but it's still worth doing. Miyagi's come in as well from 4th. Eladir then. I think that's Eladir screaming past it is, so that he goes up to 3rd. Murphy next down the road. That's Manu up to 10th now.
He has caught back up to 10th. I don't know what he dropped down to, 12th, 13th or something, or is it even down to 15th?
15th, yeah.
I think 15th when he came out.
Yeah, so he's now getting on with the job.
Recovery job, but yeah.
That's a hell of a lot to recover, though. He's a minute 15 behind Puff Pirate. That's a very tall ask, but we will see. He's going to have to hope that the tyres burn out on certainly Puffy and Alex Salmon.
Yeah.
Wow, that was a short stop by Eladir. Oh no, Eladir didn't come in, I beg your pardon. So,
but if Puff's doing 44s on those wets, we'll see what he does on this lap. But Manu's doing 42s on slicks.
I can't.
Puff's doing 44s on
but
wets.
I can't see those wets keeping that pace for the remaining. Yeah. That's the
6 laps to go.
Yeah, that lake there is getting very much smaller. Lap time last time, 44.1. Alex Salmon 43.5.
Half a second.
It's going to be interesting.
6 laps.
That's
doable.
doable.
Close if his tyres drop, but I think Salmon's probably in the prime position at the moment.
Oh, Miyagi's either coming again or is still in. So another disastrous.
I think he's back in again.
I think he's back in again as well. He was, because he had a really short stop last time. So yeah, that's whatever. He may have decided to try and stick with the wets, but maybe feels that they're going to burn out too quick. But that's, or he's been off the road somewhere, because that's a very long time being in the pits for. So that's Manu 9th now, 13 seconds between himself and Catch a Teapot. Oh, that's not going to help.
That's not going to help though. Oh, don't spin it. Oh, but too eager on the gas to get back on again. Yeah,
that's pretty much undone that. That's very cold, wet, dirty tyres. And that's Cobusnell looking to take.
Cobusnell's 219s. That must have been an out lap, so he'll be on the slicks as well. He showed decent pace earlier on, so they could be quite close towards the end.
Yeah, absolutely. And that behind
Chasey,
them.
Chasey.
Yes, Nacord already behind them as well. So that's a potential three-way battle there.
53 for.
That was very wide there by
lucky,
Nacord.
that would, yeah, a bit lucky. Yeah, that inside of that puddle is obviously much smaller than anywhere else. So you've got to line it up nice and straight on those slicks, and straight line that as much as you can, getting it perfectly on the apex of where that puddle is.
41-4 by Murphy in fourth.
Indeed.
Oh, he's on the move. That's slicks on there.
I think he's only going to have enough time to get into P3.
42-9 by Papa. Wow. He's wringing the neck out of that car.
He hasn't changed, has he?
No, I don't. Well, he can't have done because he came in ages ago. We must ask him. If he's been on slicks whilst keeping that car very nicely planted in the wet, he is a god in the wet. It's as simple as that.
And if he hasn't, he's a bit of a god in the dry on wet. Yeah. So either way, he's declared that Puff is a bit of a god.
Yes, aliens confirmed. So there's Murphy then. That's Eladir. That's the potential podium then.
41-6 again.
Yeah, 43-9 for Eladir. So
I think that's his to lose now for Murph.
Certainly. Winner of the last few races. Oh, the first two races, rather.
Yeah.
So has some points to make back. Whoa, that's very deep. That's committed. So 5 laps to go. Perth Pirate's got a 6-second lead then over Alex Salmon. 30 seconds between Salmon and this battle that we can see. So there's no point, I suppose, Puff coming in now. He's just got to limp that car home. He's just got to...
30 seconds, yeah. Over 4 laps. I mean, he's still doing 43s. He's only losing, at best, 1.5, 2 seconds a lap to the best laps out there, so...
40.5 for Manu.
Yeah.
He's pressing on there. It's gone horribly wrong for this man, though.
Yeah.
2 seconds of first and an ouch, basically, in this race. And he's...
I think, and I could very much be wrong, but I believe there might be a bit of a, I don't know what you want to call it, a kind of wild card where you can drop your worst result this season. I could be potentially making that up. I believe you're
right, and I would suspect that that's going to be dropped. This one could well be dropped by Project PD. Yep, I would think so. It's only going to be a race. Oops, no, that's not how you do that. I would think that's very worn wets on that car. Or very cold dries, but again, we can't tell from here.
One way or the other. Well, 42s, I suspect he... Well, I don't know. He's a bit of an alien as well, so he could very well be pretty much just a second quicker than Puff.
Who knows?
Still holding that gap to 5.5.
Yeah.
He's only half a second down on Alex. But Murphy has got P3.
Yeah.
I didn't see that one. I apologise for missing that one, but...
We didn't, but yeah, that's the podium. Oh, Cataclysm's getting very squarely wandering off the road before turn 3.
He's got 3 laps, and I don't think beyond Unstoppable ahead of him he's going to catch anything else. So it's one of those things where you just got to take your time. You are faster than him. You probably will get past. You just need to just take it easy, and it'll come to you. 42-1 for Puff.
Good grief. And for Alex Salmon. And we think they're not on the same tyre compound. That's beyond explanation, as far as I'm concerned. But still 6 seconds between the two. Murphy has... Murphy hasn't closed in very much on Alex Salmon. That's Cataclysm.
I think that's way too far anyway. Lap 21 or 24, he's not going to be catching 30 seconds.
Not without them falling off the road.
No, I think he just wants to create a comfortable gap to P4 and just hold that podium position, really.
Oh, wow!
Oh, there's a switch.
That was...
well played, sir.
That was a very brave teapot.
That's made of carbon fibre, not China. Porcelain.
True. But, and that's Unstoppable coming through. Yeah. Unstoppable was not happy about that. He did not want to be overtaken by the teapot. He wants that position back. Here comes the lake. It's getting ever. Oh, Unstoppable took a bit more of that than he would have liked. But Cataclysm had a decent drive out of that turn. Has given himself nearly a second. There comes Manu, who is absolutely destroying the gap between himself and Unstoppable Paul. But I think with 3 laps to go,
10 seconds.
Oh, that in 3 laps.
40.3 against the 47, though. At that rate, yes, he will.
At that rate, he will. Yes.
But if he's doing 45s, he
possible.
Might just steal an 8th. I don't think he'll gain beyond 8. But
well, we will see. It's all again. Anyone that is still running the wet tyres could well just basically fall off the road. Yeah.
Indeed.
It is
Manu's teammate in P5 having a solid race there, 42.9.
Absolutely. Oh,
Miyagi had a bit of a quiet one. But,
what a shame for Miyagi, though. I mean, he was up right there in 4th, and now down in 17th after a disastrous pit stop. Running in the 43s as well, so not bad lap times coming from the white car. That behind is Copper Piston. Well, position-wise back is Copper Piston, but he's over him. Well, it's 2 minutes down from this car track position-wise. So he's gone very horribly wrong.
Another drop result for one of the drivers.
I suspect
I think it could be a dropped one for a lot of drivers throughout the season. They certainly can't afford to make a messy one for any of the other races for the rest of the season. This is the one they want to drop, I think, for a lot of them.
Yeah, these interchangeable conditions are not going to agree with everybody. There's Murphy very much on his own in 3rd.
A solid gap to P4 now. He is absolutely flying away from Elder. He's again having a solid race. 45s at the moment there, so probably still on the wets, quite sure. But I think he has enough of a gap to do 2 laps. The 45 against 43s behind him. I think he should survive.
Oh, Manu's a couple of seconds off the back of Unstoppable now. That's 5 seconds, 6 seconds gone. Well, yeah, just over 5 seconds gone from that particular gap. That's Tauji on the back of Nakov for 11th position. So he's gained, massive gain there.
Lap times 4 seconds. So again, it's one of those things. It's 2 laps to go. You can get the position. You just don't need to be too crazy and force it.
Oh, I think that was a mistake.
That little river almost spat you out.
It did very much so. You would imagine he's going to go. There he goes. Yeah, on the inside of turn 4.
I would probably just let him go myself, to be honest. And
well, I think that's what Nakor did. That was exceedingly wide.
Well, I don't think he did.
And then side by side through the next turn, the cameraman's lost again. Nakor's not letting that go, is he? He's wanted to race.
Well, with 2 laps to go, it's like a case of
why not? I suppose. Give it a try. I think you're going to lose out eventually there, son. And there you go. There's Taudi's now going to have the inside for turn 8. So an easy overtake there. Manu is going to fly past Unstoppable. And there we go. That's actually job done. And look at that. Before he even got to the breaking point. 6.5 seconds down the road to Cataclysm. That is going to be too much, I think, in the final lap. Unless, of course, Cataclysm falls off the road. So that is going to be... What a shame, though, for Manu.
Absolutely.
And Pirate's just done a 141. Good grief.
Indeed. If that pit stop had worked for Manu as well, because he changed, and he changed to the right compound, I don't know what that hold up in the pit was all about, but he would have been...
He'd have been there. He'd have been
running away with it, I think, to be honest, because he was doing 40s, 41s. Yep. Oh, we're done. Are we done?
We are done. Yep.
Puff is the winner.
Puff Pirate has taken the win in the feature race with Alex Salmon coming across the line in 2nd, making up for the disaster he had last time around, not being able to compete. There is Murphy in 3rd.
P3.
Yeah, absolutely.
The first of the slick runners.
Oh, the first of what we think are the slick runners.
Believe.
Easy lap there. He's quite happy with that, it seems. Oh, he's trying to find a way of throwing the car on the wall. Eladir then, a very solid result for you. Through the lake and over the line for 4th place. There is the 2nd Demerville car. Tim is leading Battenberg then. Battenberg comes across the line, took position, 10 seconds ahead of Counterglimpse.
Yeah, solid race result for Battenberg there, P6. Again, a fairly quiet one for him, I think. I don't think overly eventful, but sometimes that's kind of what you want. Just run your own race.
There was Manu.
Did get P8 in the end.
He did. 140.5 just to show what he was capable of. Unstoppable was 6 seconds behind him at the end there. In 9th place. Cobra Snell. What a shame. The second race didn't go much better than the first one. Oh, he's thrown it at the... Wow, that's a dramatic way of crossing the line.
Points for style.
Absolutely. So, Perth Pirate is your winner then, with Alex Salmon 2, Murphy 3, Eladir 4, Tim 5, Battenberg 6, Counterglimpse 7, Manu 8, Unstoppable 9, Cobra Snell 10, with Taudu 11, Nakor 12, Gasku, goodness sake, I'm mixing up Nakor and Gosku in 13th, Ashnoon 14, Project PD all the way down in 15th. Goodness
That's
me.
not gone well for his championship.
No. Miyagi 16, Drux 70, Copper Piston 18, Steve G 19. It was Cluck. I knew we lost someone early on. It was Cluck who lost in the rainy stage. Yeah, the fastest lap by quite a considerable margin was Manu with that 40.3.
I think we should have a chat to some people.
Oh yes, go and bring some people in.
I think we should probably start with Puffy. Who won the first race?
That was Project PD that won the first one.
I see. Okay, let's bring Puff in first.
Yes.
Hello.
And there he is.
Hello.
That was possibly kind of gifted to you by whatever happened to Manu.
We were just discussing it. His engine was repaired.
I knew it was something getting repaired. It was way too long. Yeah, it was absolutely devastating for him. But
it's super unfortunate.
Now,
yeah,
what tires were you on at the end?
Slicks.
You were on slicks.
We're on slicks.
Since when? What point did you pit?
I pitted rather late. I took like 60 liters of fuel. I think 90 was needed for the race. So I was expecting the puddles to stay long, and they did. So I tried to pit as late as possible.
With just a one stop?
It's just a one stop, yeah.
Okay. We thought you were still running the wets at the end. We thought you pitted early and there were just one stopping on the wets, but we couldn't recall when you pitted. So
yeah, I pitted rather late, like maybe 3 or 4 laps after Manu.
Okay. Yeah, of course. It was after Manu, wasn't it? It had to have been. Yes. Okay.
I mean, we never know if I would have gotten him, but it definitely made it easier.
Well, he was doing some monstrously fast laps after his pit when he got released again, but he was in for so long he dropped down to 15th, unfortunately. So,
oh wow,
yeah, that's an absolute devastating result from the drive he put in to get there. And
yeah, a really good race for Manu. Like
absolutely,
good
we'll have a chat with him later, certainly. But yeah, but congratulations, it's a solid win.
Thank you.
Didn't have it entirely stress-free. You had E2 wasn't too far away from you, 5 seconds. It seemed to hold that kind of gap on the closing stages, but
yeah, it was rather tough to maintain the gap, but not push too much because the track was still very greasy and those big puddles like turn 1 and in the last corner, very dangerous.
Yes, I think DRS would have been another dangerous button to be played with again.
Yeah, I always waited till after the puddles.
Yeah,
safety first.
Absolutely, you got to bring it home.
Now, I don't know
yes.
Yeah, thank you. I don't know what happened at the beginning of the stint. Like, I had the same problem in the first race. Like the first 3 or 4 laps, I just didn't have pace, and after that, I could slowly go back, but. This field is so competitive. Like when you lose 3 or 4 seconds in the beginning, it's just so hard to make it.
Yeah,
that's a big hit.
And where did you finish on the first race? Remind me.
Second.
You were second, yes.
Yeah, I thought it was on certainly a podium. I couldn't remember if it was second or third, but that's a pretty good result for today.
It was a really good weekend. Like after the not so brilliant first weekend, definitely better now.
Indeed, but no disasters, which some people have certainly had today. So pulling in a good haul of points is going to do your championship fights a lot of good. I think you can be right up at the front because Murphy had a bit of a disaster night tonight, both races. So
okay, I saw he struggled in the first race. So I don't really know why.
Yeah, he was way down the order in race 2 as well, unfortunately. So that's going to hurt.
Okay, well.
Time.
And PD also had. I saw the fight between Mano and PD, and it looked like I don't know. Maybe Project PD forgot to close his DRS.
Yeah,
but his rear end just went wrong.
Actually, because it looked as if he was going defensive. He was squeezing Manu over towards the pit wall.
Yeah.
Because Manu had gone for the pass on the inside into turn 1, and he just seemed to flick left to kind of open up the corner again to take the racing line, and it just spat him out. So I think you might be right. He may have just turned a bit too much with DRS open, and he just ejected him into the gravel.
It was like whoa and gone and look
gone.
Yeah. He wanted the sandcastles early.
Yeah, I did the same at Spa and while karting, so it's no fun.
Okay, I think we'll have a wee chat with Manu, see how disappointed he is and how kicking himself he is, unfortunately. But yes, thanks for that. We'll see you next race for some further podium results.
Cheers, guys. Thanks for having me, and watch your stream later.
Indeed.
Right, you
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Manu.
Hello.
How devastated are you right now?
On a scale 1 out of 10, I would say 15.
Yes.
Yeah.
You did all the hard work, and essentially gifted the race away. Unfortunately, we hear that you had some mechanical repair work being done on your car. Is that the case?
Yeah, like the repair times at those cars are like hilariously high.
Yeah. But was it just mechanical, or there wasn't any air?
I had only engine damage, and before I pitted, it was like a last minute pit because I didn't know if I have enough fuel for another lap, so it was
close, wasn't it? I think you were in 3 liters as you came in, so it was a bit.
It was like a long shot, and it was definitely time for dries. Like I saw already the drying line, so. I struggled a little bit in the first cup, but I put it on off, and somehow it took like a minute repair time. So
we saw you going in, and we kind of followed you, and you put the gas in, and we were good to go. It'd be 16 seconds beyond that for tyres, and you just stayed in. A very painfully long time, and it was like no.
As you were in a red car, did you have an ice cream?
Well, I was thinking at some point, so okay, just leave it, like just retire to the pits, and I don't get a Coke and watch the stream. But then I was like, nah, I want to know if that slicks would have been working.
And it was, because you were definitely the fastest car out there when you left.
Oh, by miles.
A long way.
Yeah. I mean, it was. I think I was behind Terminator. It was like hard work to pass him because like. There was only the drying line, and to overtake him, you have to go to the wet part of the track.
Yeah.
But after like 2-3 laps, I was like really flying. It was really fun actually. At some point,
well, you were doing 140s when the other leaders were doing still 42s, 43s. So you definitely had the right strategy, and I think it was absolutely spot on. Had they not have decided to do some tinkering with your engine, I think that could have been yours to absolutely romp home with. Absolutely devastating.
Yeah, but it is how it is, I guess. I mean,
it's racing. It could have been any kind of mechanical failure in a car, and in a real race, I guess that's what you got to.
Exactly. I mean, Salman just said it in the chat downstairs. Like he couldn't start even the sprint race because the game disconnected him. So I should be still grateful for that. I think P8, P7, P8, something like that. Yeah,
8. Yeah.
8th, yeah.
Which is a good recovery considering you dropped down to 15th.
15th.
yeah, but
on the exit of the pit. So
I mean, I was surprised that I could battle so good with PD and also Puff Pirate. I don't know. Like, it seems like my setup was working better in the rain than in light rain.
Yeah, no, you were given a proper hard time, and then when you took the lead, I think. Well, do you know what happened? Was it that he had his DRS open when he decided to go and play in the stand and turn?
I've actually no idea. I wanted to have a look in the stream
because he was just spat off. My prediction was that he was squeezing you up against the pit wall coming into turn 1 to tighten your line, and then as he moved over to open up the corner back onto the racing line again, I think he must have had DRS open and he just turned a bit too sharp.
Yeah, I mean, it was hard work against PD. Like he was defending quite good, and then the big puddle on the last corner. Yeah. But you have to be very careful.
He caught a few people out that one.
Yeah, but overall, I wasn't looking forward to that race, to be honest. But yeah, in the end, it was actually super fun. Like, I really enjoyed it. Like,
yeah, there's a lot of positives to take out of it. I think you got the strategy right, and you certainly had the pace on both in the wet stint and in the dry, for sure. So
yeah.
Had it just not been for that engine, that could have been the perfect race for you, really.
Yeah, but nobody's perfect, I guess.
Yeah. It's racing, it's what happens, isn't it?
It's racing. Yeah, I mean, I was this weekend on the 24 Hours of Spa. I saw there also a lot of unlucky stuff happening where like no one could do anything different. So yeah, I think after all, it's racing.
Yes, just giving yourself a bit more of a challenge to be at the front end and at the end of the year.
And the pit crew are all fired.
Yeah.
Yes, they're definitely fired for next year. The complete replacement for Laguna Seca next week.
Could have done with that win as well, just to compensate for last week's. Not great.
Don't remind me of last week.
But still a decent recovery from 15th up to 8th. So well played, sir.
Yeah, thank you, and also thank you for commentating, broadcasting. I will definitely have a look now how that fight with PD looked from the outside.
Absolutely, our pleasure.
All right, then have a good one, and I think I get like a frustrating beer now. So.
All right. Go have yourself a beer.
Yeah, thank you guys. Have a good
night,
one.
Manny.
Cheers.
It's going to have to be Project, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Where is he still hiding in there? There he is.
He's there.
Oh, he just disappeared.
No, it's just better grab him.
I was in the middle of dragging him into
a
different room. Let's hunt for him.
He knew.
Is he still there?
No, he's gone.
I think he's... No, he's gone.
A shame.
Yeah, for it BD disconnected. I literally had him and I was hovering over the corner. Oh well.
He knew what was happening.
He knew the question that was going to happen.
Well,
that question.
I think we are done for this evening. We'll wrap it up now. Thank you very much, Andrex, for keeping me on the straight and narrow. Always a pleasure to have you in the box with me.
Thank you, sir. Very, very enjoyable race weekend.
Indeed. Well, far more for us than I think for our drivers.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm in the seat still.
Yes, very dry seat of that.
Yes.
So we will be back next week for Laguna Seca, a track I absolutely love. And it happens to be also a track that was in the very first season of the Formula Renault 3.5 that I started with. So that'll be quite a nice moment for me.
Indeed.
So
I think Wayfarer may very well be back keeping you company in the box.
Right, you are.
I will probably be watching if I am not required to.
Awesome.
Chat.
So I shall wait for you in the chat box then to correct me of all the mistakes I make. So
that's not very often.
We will be back here next time for more RSR action. Thank you very much and good night.